This is the cruelest episode of Catfish ever aired.
Have you seen a photograph of him?
No, just a voice.
What's up, ladies? I'm 6 foot, light brown skin.
Hey, we're looking for Tony.
Got the wrong door.
I think she might have been hiding something.
I think she was. That's a dead end.
This is it.
This shit is fucking crazy.
Hello, you gorgeous donut. Catfish is a TV show where people fall in love with the person they've been messaging for months, sometimes years. However, they've never met them in person, so they call in the hosts of the show, Neve and Max, to help them in the situation and figure out if the person they're speaking to is a real person or a catfish. The term catfish was actually made famous by the host Neve as he posted a movie about his experience of being catfished, and ever since he posted that, the term catfish has become like this huge word that everybody seems to use, which I find mental. Now, sometimes in this show, when a meeting is arranged between the two people that are speaking to each other, when they meet, it's really sweet, you know. Sometimes it is actually the person they're speaking to, or sometimes it's not, but it's not that bad and they actually get on. But sometimes it's an absolute disaster, and that has never been so apparent than in the episode that we're breaking down today. This is known as the most iconic episode that Catfish has ever aired, and there's been a lot of them, so that says something. But when I tell you this, I mean it. It's all for the wrong reasons. Genuinely, I can't believe they aired this episode to millions of people worldwide, as the twist in this, honestly, made me lose faith in humanity. I wish I was exaggerating. What starts as a simple search for love ends up in the most cold-blooded and heartless reveals that I've ever seen. It even left the two hosts speechless. Now, obviously, they do this as a job every single day, so to leave them speechless, you've got to have something that's shocking. So in this video, we're going to cover the entire episode from start to finish, and we're also going to have a look at what happened 720 days later after the episode aired, because honestly, that will take your breath away. Get comfy, because we're going in. So the episode begins with Neve and Max reading an email from somebody called Carmen, where the title of the email is, "My cousin is getting catfished." Carmen's cousin Antoine has been speaking to somebody called Tony for the past 3 years now. However, they've never met in person, which, by the way, 3 years, that is, like, that's wild. That's a big part of your life. Carmen is really concerned because Antoine hasn't even seen a photo of Tony, and the only time they ever communicate is when Tony calls him, which is normally every single day, but Antoine's not allowed to call him. So Antoine just finds himself just like waiting by the phone, waiting for Tony's call. Now, the first thing I will say is it is interesting how he's actually heard Tony's voice. A lot of the time in Catfish episodes, the exchanges of communication are normally like on email or text message. Very rarely is it a phone call, because obviously the person on the other end of the phone is exposing themselves a lot more with their actual voice, or so it seems that way at this point. So I am intrigued to see if this actually is a catfish. It's also important to note that this is Antoine's first relationship, and everyone knows, like, your first relationship is definitely the most intense, and you can ignore a lot of red flags that you probably would in like 3 or 4 relationships down the line. Neve and Max then decide to Zoom call Carmen to find out a little bit more information about the situation.
Oh, Antoine.
Oh, Lord.
Drama queen.
Why does it seem like she hates him from the off? At this point, I'm getting a sneaky suspicion that she's kind of put him on this show to possibly embarrass him rather than to help him. Carmen then tells us how Antoine first got in contact with Tony.
Do you know how Antoine and Tony met originally 3 years ago?
Chat line.
Meet singles and you're...
So this is like those late night commercials.
Wait, so he actually, like, clicked on those ads? Like, oh, you know, click here, local MILFs in the area, want to sleep with you now? It's like, do they really? They want to sleep with me, the local MILFs. What? Just suddenly all the local MILFs want us, do they? That's convenient. Oh, I'll just put my bank details in. This all looks totally legit. Is this weird? I kind of want to do a video where click those ads on like an external laptop that has no attachment to anything. I'll go to an internet cafe. That sounds so boomer. I'll go to somewhere that's not on my Wi-Fi and just see what happens if you keep on going. Probably this, to be fair. You end up on Catfish. Carmen does say that Antoine doesn't like when Carmen brings up the fact that he's never met Tony. He'll often tell her to like piss off. However, Carmen has has confirmed that Tony is happy to take part in Catfish, because at the end of the day, the only thing that Antoine wants is to be able to meet up with Tony. That's all he wants in life. Neve and Max then agree to help, and they set off for Carmen's house. And when they arrive, Carmen gives them a tour of her house, and she seems really sound.
This is for real?
What?
For real?
All right, here we go.
Come on. What do you got?
She knocked it out of his hand. Wow. Go on, love. Carmen looks dead chill. Surely she's not going to do anything horrific in this episode. I don't think so. They then sit down to discuss Antoine a little bit more. Carmen says that Antoine is pretty lonely, and he's also old-fashioned, like he doesn't even understand how to use Google. Now, all of these factors probably play into the reason why he possibly could be getting catfished. You know, often catfishers do target people that are more lonely because they're seen as more vulnerable to wanting the attention. But Carmen does say that she's always been there for Antoine, and they're not even like cousins, they're like brother and sister. So clearly they're very close, and she seems to have his back at this point. She then shows Neve and Max the hotline that Antoine used to get in contact with Tony, and honestly, it's mental.
This is Heatline. We're hot meets sexy. There are 96 men on the line.
96? There's 96 men waiting. So specific. Like, specifically 96. Are they all in the queue? Is it like when you're trying to get like tickets for like a Taylor Swift tour or something? You're all in a line until it's your turn to go? Somehow I don't believe that. Surely it's just got to be like 2 or 3.
What's up, ladies? I'm 6 foot, light brown skin, weigh like 200, clean cut.
Yeah, I'm about to talk to him.
Also, how do you know that they're telling the truth if there's no photographic evidence? You can pretend to be anyone here. I don't want to mock these people for using this, because clearly people do if it's an option. But I can't imagine dating this way. Like, I can't imagine it being like a good way to go about finding your partner.
Just listen to your greeting, like what I heard. If you're interested, get back to me.
Do you always change your voice?
Yeah, because I have a heavy voice. I want them to be attracted to me.
Okay, so she always changes her voice. Let's take note of that. But surely if you're changing things about you and lying, like when you actually come to meet them, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, because they're going to be, you know, thinking that you're someone else when in reality you're not. After this, Carmen says that she knows absolutely nothing about Tony. The only thing she knows is that apparently he's been to their town 3 times, but never decided to visit Antoine, which again is really weird, because surely you'd pop in, you know, to your boyfriend of 3 years just to say hello, especially when you've never said hello before. Just feels like the decent thing to do. But at this point, it seems like Carmen has Antoine's best intentions at her heart.
I want him to know exactly who he talking to.
Even if it means finding out that Tony's lying to him.
Whatever, I want him to know the truth.
One thing I do hope for Tony is that he's not lying. Right, I hope Tony is Tony, because I saw her on the punching bag, and honestly, I wouldn't want to get into a fight with her. Carmen then takes both Neve and Max to Antoine's house, and he seems really sound.
Oh, there's that smile.
Hey! Good morning.
Can we all come in?
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's do it.
He seems really nice. Why do people who get catfished always seem like the nicest people? Maybe it's because they're too nice. Also, imagine being the neighbours when you see Neve and Max outside. You'd be like, oh my God, you seen Antoine? He's been talking to a fake person on the internet. Get in. Some drama for her. Get that fucking kettle on, love. Antoine tells us that he's currently not working. He's looking for a job. I don't know if he has quit his job because he always needs to be next to the phone in case Tony rings, or if he genuinely just, you know, lost his job or something. But one thing is very clear. He seems like a confident person.
Look for a job. I babysit sometimes or do hair. Love to cook.
I think he's using this as like a dating thing. He looked straight at the camera when he said that. He was like, yeah, I like doing this and I love to cook. I'm a really good cook, if anyone's asking. Right, just write it down if you are on the market for a boyfriend, okay? Ingredients of a shepherd's pie. Hates to see us coming.
I'm comfortable with myself, and my family love me, so I'm cool with that.
It's one thing I do love about Americans is how much they're just like proud of who they are. Like, not all Americans, you know. But whenever you watch a show like this, a lot of Americans seem to just give themselves loads of compliments, whereas you just don't have that in the UK. People would just list the things they hate about themselves. Something we need to kind of work on over here.
Every time that I ask you about Tony, it's always, I'm a hater.
You is.
Would you say that you guys are each other's best friends.
Yeah.
They seem really close at this point. Like, to me, I'm watching this thinking, oh my God, it's so good that Antoine has got Carmen in his life, you know, as a shoulder to cry on during all of this. Someone to talk to about it. Someone that is impartial. Antoine then goes in to talk about how deep in love he is with Tony, like he's ready to buy a house with him. He also says the first thing that he fell in love with Tony for was how deep his voice was, which becomes very relevant later in this episode, just saying. But one instant red flag we get is Tony started ringing Antoine with an area code number from Cincinnati, where Antoine's from. Like, this is the town he lives in. However, Tony has always maintained that he's from Atlanta. And when Antoine brought this up to him, he actually withheld his number from that point. So every single time Tony rings, I think it says like no caller ID or something. And the more you hear Antoine talk about Tony, the more you realise he really doesn't know anything about this person.
What's his last name?
I don't know his last name.
You don't know his last name?
Like, it's been 3 years and you don't know his surname. Like, what? That's mental. I know I've been catfished before, so I don't have a leg to stand on in terms of judging other people when they're possibly getting catfished. But I don't know, do you not even know their fake surname if they are possibly a catfish? Are they just Tony? Are they like a Brazilian footballer, you know, like Ronaldo or Ronaldinho, where they just don't have another name, or they just go under the name of one name? Just Tony. To be fair, it's kind of cool. Imagine you move to a new city, right? Like from Atlanta to Cincinnati, and you've got to register at your GP. They're like, what's your name? Tony. What's your surname? It's Tony. Okay? Just Tony. You'd be like, shit, that guy has aura. He definitely wouldn't catfish anyone.
Have you seen a photograph of him?
No, just the voice.
It does show how lonely Antoine is, the fact that, you know, this person has showed him attention, and in 3 years he's not even seen a photo of him, or he doesn't know his surname, but he still feels that he's in love with this person. Like, it's actually really, really sad.
Yeah, you see he's tall, brown skin, you know, buff.
Six pack?
Yeah, better be, because I don't want no donut pack.
No, I'm not judging other people, but I feel like if you're requesting someone to have a six-pack, surely, you know, do you not have to have a six-pack? He's basically saying he doesn't want them to have a donut pack. I don't know what that means. Is that like a bigger belly? You can't knock someone else for having a bigger belly if, you know, you're not, you know, in the pristine shape, but even then, it's still rude to do it. Luckily, Antoine has actually saved a few voicemails from Tony, so he plays them out loud for us. I say for us, for Neve and Max. I don't know why I'm including me, as if I'm a part of this.
Just calling you know I'm thinking about you. Whenever you get this message, just know I ain't forget about you. Just want to let you know that, you know, I do care for you.
Like, you can see the look on Antoine's face. This makes, you know, him feel really nice. It makes him feel wanted. It makes him feel like he's somebody's person. And hearing a voice is so much more powerful than just a text message, because it signifies in everyone's mind that this is a real person. Whether they're called Tony or nothing, that can kind of become irrelevant, because you're falling in love with the person's voice and who they are, or who they appear to be. I honestly think this is the sole reason why he honestly believes it. Now, Antoine says that every single day he begs to meet Tony, but apparently Tony works in construction and is busy 24/7. Like, why is he in a relationship then? Obviously, you know, you can be busy at work, but you still see your partner on the night time, or like if you work away, like every so often, but to never see them, like, that's not a relationship, is it? Surely you can make some time. But despite this, Antoine says that he trusts Tony more than he even trusts Carmen, who's meant to be like a sister to him. He also says that if he finds out that Tony is a catfish, he, and I quote, will explode. So that'll be fun in the reveal that's about to come if he is actually a catfish. I am praying for Tony that he's not. I'll be honest, at this point, I don't really think that it's going to be a really outlandish catfish, just because of the voice. Like, I remember when I was catfish, like, the person would whisper, and I feel like that's a lot more, you know, it's a lot harder to read who that person actually is, because, you know, when you whisper, it's all one tone. But, you know, that seemed like an actual person's voice there that is distinguished, that is unique, that you would notice if you heard it again. Or so it seems. Max and Neve then grab the original number that Tony rang on the first time, as Antoine actually memorized it. Shows how much he likes this person. They then go away and do some research to find out if it is actually Tony who's ringing him, and hopefully by the end of this episode we will have an answer. I need to know who Tony really is, or if it is just Tony. I really wish we had a surname, which we conveniently actually do get now, or we get a trace of a surname. When Max and Neve are doing the research, they run the phone number against a lot of different people and profiles, and they actually attach the phone number to somebody called Diane Thomas, who also lives in Cincinnati, so that's like, you know, a similar match. And Diane actually has a sibling called Anthony. Now, what is Anthony long for? Tony! Come on! There we go. End of the episode. However, we are still only 12 minutes in, which makes me think this lead might not actually be the answer. But we do have to explore it, because that is a pretty big deal, and it's like a solid lead in my opinion. But when they actually do a little bit more digging specifically into this Anthony Thomas, they find out that when he supposedly was getting into a relationship with Antoine, he was a little bit busy doing something else. Just quickly, Donuts, before we proceed, if you haven't already, please do consider pressing the subscribe button. You will have videos like this to binge watch when you're bored. We upload very consistently on here, and we're on the hunt for 1 million subscribers. Every single week we're getting closer, so if you want to be in the before 1 million donut community, press subscribe right now. It takes you 1 second and it's free.
Mugshot, Anthony Thomas.
Wow.
That's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah, busted in 2011.
Busted for being so sexy. Am I right? Yeah. Busted, because that's what everyone does when they see him. Now, obviously, this is going to be alarming if this is the person that Antoine is speaking to, because that might be the reason why he's never wanted to meet up, because, you know, he can't. But finding this out, strangely, has actually added weight to, you know, the case that this actually could be Tony, because there's a lot of things that make sense, such as Anthony going into prison around the time that the phone call actually started to turn to a private number, which makes sense because when you're ringing from prison, apparently it shows up as like a private number, like a no-caller ID, rather than an actual number. So again, that kind of adds weight to the reason why, you know, he might have changed his number. It all starts to make sense. And in my opinion, I'm like, okay, they've figured it out. Like, that was pretty quick. I've never really seen a Catfish episode kind of get tied up this quickly. And when they try to ring the original number that Antoine gave them, it's actually disconnected, because obviously if he's in prison, he's not going to have that phone anymore, and it's probably just like the contract's probably just expired. So at this point, Max and Neve then relay this information back to Antoine and Carmen.
I was about to give up. I know one thing, I'm scared.
I can't imagine how Antoine feels, honestly, because he would feel really let down, especially when, you know, it seems like, you know, he hasn't obviously got a job. He seems to only really have Carmen, who he kind of hangs out with. Like, this will be a big part of his life. And, you know, to hear that this is kind of not as it seems, I know to everyone else, logically, or like, of course, it possibly wouldn't be what it seems. But when you, again, I say this in most videos, when you're emotionally involved in a situation, it clouds your judgment. And clearly, Antoine is very emotionally involved.
Just gonna let you know I'm thinking about you.
This is, the editing on this always makes me laugh, how they always zoom in on the sad faces and then overlay just a really sad violin and then replay the thing that's making the person sad. I can't imagine what a Catfish episode is like to watch back if you're the person that has been affected by it. I feel like if someone wanted to torture you, they would just replay your episode back to back to back. They would get anything out of me they wanted. At this point, Antoine actually says that he doesn't want to go further with this. He kind of just wants to call it a day, as, you know, he can feel this really affecting him. And you can see on Carmen's face as well, she looks pretty sad about the whole situation. However, despite this, Neve and Max actually say they're still going to dig into it and try and get to the bottom of this, because this might not actually be the real Tony. They then ring him again in the morning to ask if, you know, Tony is rang again. However, for the first time in 3 years, Tony didn't ring, which is really strange, because obviously, like, this episode didn't drop at this point. Like, Tony would have had no idea that Catfish were even filming. What has been the difference in the last, like, 24 hours for him not to ring today? It's very strange. Unless he's like a stalker and he actually is in Cincinnati and he just spies on Antoine 24/7. Or it has to be someone that is close to Antoine that maybe has told Tony. I've got no idea. But it is very fishy. That's all I'm saying. But Neve and Max say that they've got a few more leads regarding this Tony. They've got 3 addresses that they want to visit with Antoine and Carmen, basically just to see if they can get any more information and find out if, you know, this Anthony is Tony. And Antoine does seem a little bit more motivated to find the truth this morning, so he goes with them.
I'm tired of being nice. It's been 3 years. I'm tired.
You ready to bust down some doors?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Oh, so motivated right now. I want to join them myself. I've got a pair of Air Maxes. They'll kick down some good doors for you, Antoine. I do think because I've been through, a similar situation, I really do feel for the people that are getting catfish, and I want them to, figure it out. It's so sad that I discovered this show, in the last couple of months, because I know that this would have just been so good to watch when I was younger. I actually think they've just cancelled Catfish, which is really sad. Anyway, besides the point. They then start knocking on the doors.
Hey, we're looking for Tony.
Got the wrong door.
Is this Anthony Thomas?
Got the wrong door.
I hope nobody come out with them guns.
Now, Antoine did describe this area as the ghetto. So, yeah, I don't know if you really want to press people too much. Clearly, this guy wasn't up for talking, right? This guy hates to see a podcast coming. He's like, don't make me respond a third time, all right? To be fair, though, he didn't answer the question. At least just be like, no, I'm not. Unless he actually is. Maybe he's withholding information. We didn't actually get anything from this door, so, Tony possibly could be behind this red door. Who knows?
Not very inviting.
You guys want to wait here? I'll go knock.
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
The balls on Neve is unmatched, especially in America, where people are allowed, aren't you allowed shoot people if they're in your property? It literally said, trespassing, don't enter. And he's like, does anyone else want to come? Nah, you go, son. You go. You're doing great, son. You go. Nothing could make me open that gate. Nothing. Could you imagine if your job was posting leaflets through people's letterboxes? I feel like you would just ignore this house. Or if you're a door knocker that sells people things, you're just not going to take the chance, are you? Just be like, they're clearly not up for it.
People in there.
There are.
Also, filming is so intense. A big camera just staring at these people.
Looking for Diana Thomas?
I'm Diana.
Oh, great. You're not married to anyone named Tony or Anthony?
My dad's last name is Thomas, but I don't...
Antoine looks like every single dad at their kids' football team at half time when they're at the burger van trying to figure out what they want to order. Just... Boys, you can get bacon and sausage, brown sauce as well, tomato as well. Got a lot here, haven't they? Oh, a cup of bovril. Should we get a cup of... Do you want a cup of bovril? Right, I'll get you that. Weirdly, Carmen doesn't seem that interested. I don't know why, as she was the one that rang for help.
All right. I feel like that's a dead end.
I think she might have been hiding something.
I think she was. I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think so either. I think she was pretty open. Even the fact that she said she doesn't know people on her dad's family and she admitted that her dad's surname is Thomas. She kind of gave them a lot of information there. She wasn't just giving one-word answers. I definitely feel like that one was a dead end. They then go to the final house, which is arguably the creepiest of them all.
This is it. This house perched up on the hill here.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be like, you know what? It's fine. I'll just continue to talk to them. I'm not going in there. That looks like the Monster House, Conscience off that animated movie. Get off my lawn and shit. Nah, I'm good. I'll just play into Tony's game. It's fine. We don't need to meet anymore.
Let's do it.
Let's check it out.
I love that the least kind of motivated person to get out there was Antoine. He was like, I think I'm okay. The person that is supposedly talking to me lives in an abandoned house. Nah, you know what? I'll just block the number. It's all right. I think we've came far enough. By the way, side story, obviously I've told weird stories about myself. Do you want to know another weird story? When I was younger, I remember with birthday and Christmas money, I bought my own spirit box, and I used to go to abandoned buildings and try and talk to spirits in them. That's actually, fact. Yeah, I honestly, no wonder I didn't have many friends. Spirit friends, however. We had many a good times, This is creepy. I hate this house, although it is big.
Letter is a notice of violation and order issued.
Bro, there's a padlock.
So whoever did live here missed him by a month.
This don't make no damn sense.
Was that padlock put on by the previous owners? Why have they padlocked the outside of the door? Maybe that's why Tony couldn't get out. Maybe he wanted to meet, but he couldn't. Who the fuck is Tony, man? It's killing us. I'm stressed.
This shit is fucking crazy.
So that's it. Those were our 3 addresses.
Now, they find nothing at this property, so all 3 of the properties were basically a dead end, like they didn't get any further, and Carmen is getting like increasingly angrier, the fact that they're not moving forward with the case. And I'm thinking, oh, she just really wants to help her cousin out, you know, she wants to get to the bottom of this. However, she releases the biggest bombshell in Catfish's history. Prepare yourselves. If you haven't already, please do drop a like on this video. Apparently it helps us out. I have no idea how, but yeah, please do it.
Antoine, the reason why you fucking stupid idiot can never find who Tony is because I'm Tony.
Why the fuck would you do that?
No! You bastard! No wonder she wanted to be there the entire time. No wonder every single time that Antoine was on camera talking to them, she was right there. She needed the information to stay up to date with the case. The bastard! What? It was her the entire time? I tell you what, she is cruel for making, you know, Max and Neve and Antoine and all the, you know, the production team go through the snow in minus temperatures, possibly getting a cold when she was the person all the time. What? That is next level evil. Why would she do this? She's like a super villain. Oh my god. Not even Justice League could defeat her. Should have Batman on his knees, just like the League of Shadows. It's also the fact she decided to wait until, you know, all options were exhausted. Like, how can you actually do this to your own family member, your cousin, who you said in your words is like a brother to you? I'd hate to see how you treat someone that's just your friend, or better, that's someone you don't even know. This is genuinely insane.
That shit ain't fucking cool.
You should have never called me a fat ass Kelly Price.
Wait, so she did this just because he called her what? What was it? A fat Kelly Price? A fat ass Kelly Price, I quote. Let it be known to the jury, it was fat ass Kelly Price, not fat Kelly Price. So she's held on to this comment for what? More than 3 years? Her master plan? Like, 3 years she catfished him for, if this is true. Like, not a few weeks, not some month. Yes! This is almost, like, unbelievable. Like, it's almost amazing how she played the long game here. One simple comment, she decided to ruin his entire life. Don't use this word lightly, guys. I am flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. You go and check that Chloe's reel. I need to make sure that I haven't said anything to anyone that, you know, would piss them off for this lot. 2-6. I know it's been like 6 years. I need to check. Wait, but this doesn't explain. Wait. This might not actually be true. This might just be like for drama. Like, it doesn't explain the voice. The voice was clearly like a deep. I just remembered she said they made a note that, you know, she changes her voice. It was it? Unless, I think we need to watch on. I'm trying to make theories without just watching. She could have got a guy to do that voice very easily.
Fuck, it ain't no fucking Tony.
Wait a second.
Oh, well.
For real, 3 years?
Bro, so every day she called. This is so... Every day? You couldn't have missed one? Like, every day you were like, yeah, but I checked that off me list. How is she not feeling bad? Like, she's like proud. She's like, yeah, fuck it. It was me. Who's Tony? You're looking at him, love. That's life.
I want a lot of space. Like,
Please.
like 10 times more space.
I don't even feel like talking about this bullshit.
Oh, that is the worst thing, that it's on camera. Like, finding this out in private is bad enough, but knowing that this is going to be published to millions of people, you would feel embarrassed, even though Antoine isn't the one who should feel embarrassed whatsoever. The person that should feel so embarrassed is Carmen, because this is such a horrific thing to do to a family member. Yes, it probably wasn't nice to be called a fat-ass Kelly Price, who, by the way, if people don't know who Kelly Price is, you know, like a pretty woman, you know, like, I guess getting called a fat-ass version of us not very nice, but being compared to us, okay.
I don't even feel like talking about this bullshit. Now I'm going around over 3 people's houses thinking I'm about to see a fucking Tony. I just want to go home.
He's so right, though. She was in the car the entire time. She was like, I know we're not going to see any fucking Tony. Tony? Nah, I'm just here for the day trip. I had nothing on. I thought I'd just come along. Now, at this point, I was still kind of convinced that she's just saying this as a joke and she's going to say, like, psych, like, it's just a prank. It's not actually me, like Tony is out there. But she's not joking. Carmen says this is actually her revenge.
Yes, payback. Talk about me in front of, like, everybody. So I was waiting for the right moment, and that was the right moment.
Yeah, I don't think this is, like, you getting even. I think you've took it too far. I think. He said, you know, like an insult to you, what you said in front of your like family members. So you've decided to take it upon yourself to catfish him for 3 years and then reveal it to millions of people that he doesn't know. Somehow I don't think that's even, you know, I feel like he deserves a couple more on you after this. Can you imagine how awkward Christmas dinner's going to be, by the way? How's that going to go down? Whoever's hosting is going to watch this and go, oh, for fuck's sake. Well, that's just ruined Christmas for everyone. Cousins catfishing each other. Have you heard anything more ridiculous in your life? Things get even more disturbing as Carmen actually reenacts the voice she used for Tony perfectly.
What voice are you using to talk to him?
The Tony voice.
I don't like it. I want to go home. I am home. It doesn't feel like I am. It's how like she just switched it on. Listen to this.
What voice are you using to talk to him?
The Tony voice.
Bro, this is... I'm laughing, but in a scared way. Not in I find it funny way. I am petrified of this woman. The Tony voice. She just turned that shit on. Like it was a tap. Sorry, I need a... I actually need a minute. I do need a minute. I'll be with you. Alright, I'm back. Now, normally when loads of drama happens in a TV show, the producers and the hosts are probably pretty happy about it because they know a lot of clips are gonna go viral. However, Neve and Max are very clearly, like, annoyed with Carmen, and rightly so. And it shows how much they actually care about actually helping the victims in this show.
You used us and kind of wasted our time. It's lame. That's just lame.
That's not lame. Actually,
It's lame.
good.
It is wild how she doesn't realise that she's gonna come off as the bad person. I honestly think in her own mind she's thinking, oh, people are gonna love me, like people are gonna like stan us, people are gonna think I'm mint because like I've got back at me cousin for saying like, you know, a nasty sentence to us. Whereas I just don't think that's the case. Yes, the Kelly Price comment is iconic and funny, but I don't think I want to support this person after this.
I catfish every single person.
So you do that a lot.
Oh, I do that a lot, and I'm good at it.
Well, we know you're a good liar.
Honestly, like, this is, you know, this is a bigger shock than, like, Chancellor Palpatine being Darth Sidious. All of my Star Wars nerds will know exactly what I'm on about. You know, in Revenge of the Sith, where you look at him and you're like, oh, you're turning a bit bad, aren't you? This is the exact storyline of that. Do it. Kill him. She very clearly is getting off on this. Like, someone else's misery, like, you know, enlightens her. Like, it gives her happiness, which obviously is a really bad characteristic trait to have. Like, you revel in people's misery. She even admitted to, you know, catfishing multiple people. She does this to loads of people. I don't think this is a cool thing at all. Like, this just shows how lonely you are. The fact that you've got the time to ruin this many people's lives, and these lonely people, these vulnerable people, you take advantage of them. That's nothing to brag about. Also, you're only getting charged with one murder here, basically. Why would you admit to loads others? I know I'm joking about saying she's a murderer there, but I do think there is characteristic traits that are similar. Like, with a lot of mass murderers, serial killers, getting away with the, you know, the crimes isn't good enough. They need people to know that they got away with it. Like, they need the praise for how much of a genius they are. And it's like a sick trait that many serial killers have. And I honestly think she has it within, like, the catfishing. It's not good enough that she's able to prank and, like, kind of go under the radar and, like, take advantage of all these people. She needs the adulation for doing so. She needs people to know that she's smart. It's like an ego thing. Like, very clearly Carmen has a huge ego that she needs to feed. It's sick. It actually is sick. In a bad way, not a good way, obviously.
No, because I could have been on any show.
She could have been on any show, but she chose us to bestow upon us her genius.
I mean, there's not many shows you could have been on with this story, love. You know, I doubt The Chase would take you. You know, I don't know how this helps you in the cash builder round. Oh yeah, what did St. Peter deny 3 times before midnight with Jesus? I don't know, but, you know, I basically catfished me cousin with the guy called Tony. It's not really going to help you out, is it, love? It's really sad as well, because when Neve and Max are arguing with her, Antoine's in the car alone, just obviously feeling really sorry for himself.
Now I gotta deal with this bullshit because she do some stupid ass shit with her fat ass.
I think he's allowed that one. I love how he's like, I've got so much shit going on. Now I've got to deal with this. Like, he's treating it like it's just like an inconvenience. Like, oh, it's just another thing on me mind, isn't it? Also, they've pointed this is a G7X just straight at him. Come on, give the man his time. No matter how much Carmen tries to explain herself that she's actually not a bad person, like, she just comes off worse and worse.
Catfishing is not all about falling in love. That's not our definition.
I mean, this is
pathetic.
She's talking about catfishing as if it's some sort of craft. You know, as if she's like a professional catfisher.
What if Antoine never wanted to talk to you again and didn't? Would that be success?
No, it was just, I still would prove my point.
But what point are you proving, though? I don't understand what the point is. Oh, you called me a nasty name, so I proved that you can fall in love with someone that seems quite real, and especially when I ring you every single day. Haha, what an idiot. What did you prove here? I don't understand. One thing I will say, like, from her point of view, I don't think she can be a happy person. Like, she's playing it off as if she's, like, you know, totally sure of herself and she's happy. I honestly think she will be very sad and lonely herself. Like, no happy person does this to other people. I don't care what she says. You have to have some, like, hatred or some tremendous sadness in your soul to want to inflict pain onto others in this way, especially, like, emotionally. It's so dark. I definitely think the reason why the hosts are so angry, especially Neve, is because, like, he's been through this, and to watch somebody who has inflicted the same pain that he's felt onto someone and be so proud of it, like, that's gotta boil your blood so much, especially when you've made an entire TV show into helping people who are victims of this. I can't imagine how he's feeling. They all then leave and Carmen looks really happy. Look at her smiling. Who are you ringing, man? Just for the show, they should have put them back in the same car. I just want to see how silent the drive home was. Realistically, who are you ringing? Just your mates? Are you going to be in the group chat like, yeah, finally told fucking, you know, Antoine about all of the Tory stuff. Yeah, had to. I want to know if other people in the family knew about this. I want to see if there's any more snakes. It is weird as well because she has to be a clever person to, like, conduct all of this. Like, you know, for instance, when she withheld the number, when Antoine started talking about, like, oh, it says you're actually in Cincinnati. Like, all this stuff now is becoming so, like, oh yeah, no shit. I can't imagine what this must have been like to watch when it actually aired live for the first time. It must have been just so wild. It was definitely one of the episodes that propelled Catfish into, like, a new stratosphere of fame. Anyway, after all of this occurs, Neve actually knocks on Antoine's door to just basically check on him, but Antoine wants nothing to do with them right now.
Why don't bother me?
I don't blame him.
You guys want to talk to you guys?
I think you do need to, you know, from a human standpoint, I understand, like, the whole show's been, you know, dedicated around this storyline, but you have to give him his time because this is a real person going through some real shit right now. I don't think this is, you know, content worthy unless you want to speak to him off camera first. And I'm glad they actually do give him his time and don't force him to speak right now because he's probably going to say something he regrets. Now, like I said, at the end of this video, we are actually going to do a more up-to-date update on how they're getting along first. But before that, we need to cover the rest of the episode. After they were refused entry to Antoine's flat, they actually go and travel to Carmen to speak with her and confront her about her actions. And this is one of the most heated exchanges in Catfish's history.
We should talk to her the way we would talk to her if the cameras weren't rolling.
Oof. Okay. Love that, Max. A little bit of fire in the belly. Come on, son.
Hello.
Oh, this is going to be so painful for someone that hates awkwardness.
I have nothing to say.
I don't believe it.
You have all you have anyway. You don't have to have a conclusion to how a person is.
Okay, so you're a producer now, Carmen, are you? We run the show, you speak love. That's how it works round here. She's very clearly, like, a control freak, and also, like, I don't want to, you know, I honestly feel like you can't call her a narcissist. Everything's about her, everything's on her terms. She cares, nothing for the people around her, especially her close family members. I know it's a big term to call someone, but if I've ever seen the traits of, you know, a narcissistic character, they're definitely apparent here. Honestly, I think it's scary that people like this actually exist. Like, this is not a character.
I fucking catfish people and I'm cool with it.
You're proud of it?
Yeah, I'm proud of myself because I do a damn good job.
Yeah, but that just because you're good at catfishing doesn't mean it's a skill. Like, is it a skill to be good at catfish? I guess it is, but it's just not a great skill. I guess killing people, you know, if you get away with it's a skill. Just not a very nice one, is it? Not really one you put on the CV. Yeah, I'm a really hard-working person and I'm great at catfishing people. Please hire me, McDonald's. Not really gonna work, is it?
I don't want you to make other people feel like shit.
I make people feel like shit because they want to, because they
I wanna
already
feel
shit.
like
Just
shit.
like
I don't want to, like, be heavily critical of Neve here because, like I said, Neve has been through this, so he definitely feels emotionally attached here. But she's smiling at him. Like, she's kind of got Neve exactly where she wants him because the reason she's doing this is so she gets a reaction. She wants to feel like she's got the one-up on everyone, and that's what she kind of has here because, like, everyone's kind of feeding into it where everyone's annoyed with that, everyone's giving her the reaction she wants. And I think the producers realise this as things get really heated and they end up just having like a full-on kind of shouting match. So the producer like puts an end to it and says, look, Neve and Max, you're coming outside right now. And he gives them like a tell it off, even though it's their show.
You want to sit in a room and make fun of the way a person talks. You guys need to get back in there and hear her side.
I don't feel like she deserves the couch time.
Hear her out.
I agree with this because I actually want to understand why she does it. Like, she hasn't just catfished her own cousin just for that one comment, despite us seeing that. There's a reason why she's doing this to all these people, and I'm really intrigued by it. I think it's like when you watch a true crime documentary, you watch it out of intrigue. Like, why would somebody do such a thing? And what is really good is Neve actually straight up apologises to her, even though, I guess he doesn't really need to. He does it to try and break down her walls a little bit and come a little bit more calmer. Hopefully it works.
That maybe you're a compulsive liar.
I know I'm a compulsive liar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. But the greatest liars work in the biggest companies.
I think are we taking like Tumblr quotes or Pinterest quotes now and just saying them out loud? The greatest liars work at the biggest companies. It's such a blanket statement. Every time I drink a Red Bull, it doesn't give us wings. Liars! Fucking liars! It's fine for them to do it, but not me, is it? I'll see how it is.
Because you wanted to tell everyone and your friends that you're smarter than the world gives you credit for being. And yet the thing that you want to be known for is this negative thing.
See, that's like what they need to approach her like. They need to kind of, in a sideways way, compliment her, but also say, look, like, why are you doing this? Because then she's actually going to talk, because then she's getting the recognition, which she needs so much to validate herself with.
Right now, you're gonna have a small amount of fame for doing something bad.
I do think it's hitting her a little bit now, like they've managed to kind of get past her, this wall that she puts up. I don't think she would have thought this far ahead. Like I said earlier, I think she thought that people would praise her for this. She wanted the accolation for being so clever, but it's not going that way. And you can see on her face, she's like slowly realizing, I'm actually just a bit of a dick.
Taking revenge on your cousin and best friend.
Best friend. Fucking best friend. This is what best friends do, is it? I'd hate to see our worst friend. We do actually hear Carmen be a little bit more sincere in this conversation, which is nice for the first time.
I'm just angry and I'm tired.
Okay.
That's it. I created another version of that I am not,
See, this is what we've wanted. I wonder if she, doesn't really feel that confident in herself, in her own kind of image. So she kind of uses these aliases as a way to be confident. Like she told Antoine she had a six-pack, she was tall, that she was fit. So it's almost like an alternative universe for her to live in where she can be confident and be whoever she wants to be. That doesn't make her right, but you're beginning to understand why she's doing this, and it might not actually, as weird as it sounds, come from a sinister place. It comes from a place of insecurity. I find this so fascinating.
Do you want to be close with Antoine again?
Yeah.
You underestimated Antoine. He never does want to be your friend again.
Realistically, did she actually think Antoine was going to be like, what? Tony's you? That's fucking sick, that. You got it, so I'm going to get you back for this one. No, that was never going to happen. Maybe it's after 2 weeks. Even then. But 3 years... Nah, love. Nah. Honestly, I'm trying to see this from your point of view. It's tough. It's very tough. What is this edit? This edit is so funny.
I'm more sorry now than I thought it out to be when I first did it, and I've been doing it for so long. I never thought about it.
Let me know how you feel about her specifically. Like, do you weirdly feel sorry for her? Or do you kind of just have this, like, not hatred, but, you're just like, nah, she's just a bit of a bellend? Let me know, because I will be really interested to hear your thoughts. After this, Neve and Max say goodbye to Carmen, and they actually head to Antoine's house, who actually wants to speak to them now. And they decide to, like, treat him to some food because they feel bad, and you can tell that he's just really down in the dumps.
You want to take off your jacket?
No, I want to keep my jacket on.
I'm just trying to help you be a little more comfortable. I do think there's an opportunity.
I love that they've got him a lollipop as if he's a child. Do you want a lollipop? Do you want a lollipop, son? Do you want a sticker as well? Do you want to, just so you feel a bit better? Yeah. Do you want like a temporary tattoo? Spider-Man. You like Spider-Man, do you? Yeah. We'll get you that. Don't worry, son. I've got him a lollipop.
That's Victoria's ever again. You know, some fucking TV. Everybody always capping on her ass. She should have put their ass on TV.
Oh, this must be such a conflict of emotion for Neve, because the entire TV show is centered around, finding the catfish, and that's the episode. So from that standpoint, like, you need to air the content, but also you'll be like, I don't want to air this content because clearly this has really negatively affected this person. It must be so hard.
I ain't worried about Tony. It's over. That's good that I found out that was her. That's good. Now I can do what the fuck I want to do. I just don't like her right now.
See, the fact you said I just don't like her right now says to me that possibly in the future they can, reconcile things. Honestly, if this was me, I don't think I'd ever want to speak to them again. I'm very much a person that if you kind of show, like some sort of break of trust to me, I kind of just cut things off because I don't want to get hurt. Like, I don't know how you can recover this, especially from your cousin. I know you have to see them again, but I think I would just be like, I don't know, Michael Corleone in The Godfather 2, where he's like, I don't want to see me brother ever again, not even if there's a fire. Weird reference to bring up right now.
You got it. We don't have to say anything. That's it.
I think I do. I do. It's fucked up, though.
I actually really like Antoine. I feel like he's handled this as best as he possibly could. So yeah, this shit fucked up, Yeah, it is. It is. You're right. You're right there. It's also nice that he thanked them because it isn't really their fault. Like, they were just trying to help him. Obviously, it is on camera, but that's kind of what you signed up for. It's just a really horrible situation. Honestly, if this was me, this would just stem me villain arc. I don't know what I would do. Maybe just start off by kind of, I don't know, stealing things from like supermarkets, just little things, and then build me way up the kind of, criminal underworld hierarchy, I guess. Just saying, right? I would begin changing. You might not suspect it, but there would be signs. We then get a short-term update from them both a month later, where we get a call with both Carmen and Antoine.
I'm not talking to Carmen ever again.
Oh, you've stopped talking to her completely?
It's gonna take some time. I'm not just gonna rush and do it.
Yeah. Like, you stand your ground. Don't give in.
But no more talking to people on chat line?
No chat lines, none of that. Is y'all finished? Now take me out this damn camera.
Oh, you can tell how, like, sincere he is, He's not asked about being famous. He's just doing this because contractually he probably has to. I really like him. It's sad it happened to a nice person. Before we hear from Carmen, apparently she insists that she hasn't catfished anyone after this.
How's it going?
I've been going to the gym 3 times a week.
Wow. That's amazing.
For almost a month now.
We don't care. Sorry, someone had to say it. No, I do. I don't actually care. Nice to see she's taking care of herself, but I don't really want to hear about your gym routine, love. After the stunt you pulled. Not really interested in your biceps or your ab crunches, I'm afraid.
Are you talking to Antoine at all?
I ain't even thought about him. Things happen, and if he wants to talk to me, I guess. Evidently, he don't.
She has one of the biggest egos I've seen. Like, yeah, I've not even thought about him. Really? You haven't thought about him once since the episode kind of, finished filming? That's even more psychotic. Oh yeah, that was just like another day for me, a nice day out, in the snow, going to random people's houses. Now that is the end of the original episode. However, 2 years later, both Neve and Max actually reunited both Carmen and Antoine. And at this point, they hadn't spoken once in 2 years, like no exchange of communication whatsoever. So this is the first time they're meeting on camera, which is wild.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
How are you? Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to want to...
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. Let's come to the couch.
Bro, does this remind anyone of when, like, The Undertaker and Kane saw each other for the first time when The Undertaker came back from the dead? That was the first thing you were thinking about, right? Same. Literally same. We're so alike, it's actually, like, ridiculous how alike we are. Honestly, if we tried, I think we'd finish each other's sentences like, I absolutely love... being a donut, yeah, literally. There we go.
If you feel like I was tapping on you too much, you should have said something. We could have talked about this, but to be on TV with the boo, hell no.
He's so funny. So true, bestie. Honestly, so true. It was too far. Even 2 years later, right? I can still feel it.
I didn't intentionally know it was going to turn out like this.
Talk about you and you didn't intentionally do it, you did it.
That's bullshit. So you intentionally catfished him for 3 years, then you yourself rang the catfish team. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Because I was thinking it's a joke. When we joke, we joke. A practical joke to me is a joke.
It's a pretty messed up joke, love. I thought you would take some accountability, but it doesn't look like she's going to. You can't put this down to a joke. Like, where's the punchline? This is fucked up. Like, a joke is knock knock. Who's there? Not Tony. That's a joke. Not this, love.
You pissed me the
out. I grew up off of that. I grew up from what I did then, what I do now.
Okay. Hopefully she's going to take some accountability here because she said she's grown up. You know, she's realised that she was wrong. That's a good start. That's all you need to do. Just put your ego to the side and be like, look, I was a dick there. I regret it. I'm never going to do something like that again. Hopefully, you know, we can be on speaking terms so I can build up your trust in the next 3 years.
You missed out on the best things that happened to me. I work at the University in Cincinnati. I got a fiance. I'm cool.
Nah, because you're flexing right now. You're flexing. You're not saying this to be nice. What kind of a statement is, yeah, I just wanted to be your friend because you missed out on how great my life is? Like, that's not sincere. Her ego won't let her be empathetic towards her own cousin, and it's mental.
No more catfishing, okay?
I don't catfish.
But I'm just saying, I love you, cousin. You heard what I said. Don't catfish me no damn more. But give me a hug.
Honestly, I feel like Antoine let her off the hook there. I feel like her apology wasn't good whatsoever. I mean, who am I to say these two are family, and if they want to sort it out, that's on their terms. But I don't think she is sorry. I think she said it, but I didn't feel it personally. You know, he was in tears. She was like cold. I just don't buy it. I know, like, they're probably being pessimistic here, but I feel like Antoine is definitely someone that, you know, possibly is quite lonely and he's lost his best friend. Maybe he just wants her back because, you know, it's to fill a void in his life. I have no idea. It's just a very sad situation.
I love you so much, Twan.
Love you so.
Now, I want you to answer in the comments, if your cousin did this to you, would you talk to them again, especially after the update that we've just seen? One thing I do want to say is I just hope they're both happy now, especially Antoine, and I hope Carmen isn't catfishing anyone, because the show's stopped now, okay? She can stop it. It ruins people's lives, trust me. Anyway, that's the end of this video, Donuts. We actually have covered another insane catfish episode where somebody thought they were speaking to Katy Perry for 6 years. I wish I was joking. Click this video right here. I'll see you over there. Also, drop a like on this one because it helps us out. And yeah, I'll see you over there. Bye-bye. Okay, go.